Hey guys, Preston here. Welcome back to another video. This time the channel is called KMA Sports because sports is what we talk about. So today we're doing a quick video about Nicholas Gioacchini. That could be pronounced wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. He is transferring from St. Louis City to Como is the rumor. So we're going to talk about that real quick, kind of give some opinions on it, and just every now and then you'll see some of these videos breaking down transfer moves that have happened with U.S. players only. That's my knowledge of soccer is still extremely limited to the U.S. national team and its player pool. So Nico, just a quick rundown about him, just to get some of this stuff up. When you see me look up, it's because I have stuff pulled up on the laptop behind you, which is how I get all the information I can use to talk about. So he's a 23-year-old striker. He started off in France. I don't know if you remember this. He was part of that 2021 Gold Cup team that won it all, which was, that's fun. He started with Paris FC in the youth teams, then with the Cannes youth teams, and eventually kind of broke out, you could say, with Cannes in France, where he had 9 goals in his 53 games, but it was with Cannes when he got his first call-up to the U.S. team, I believe, or the most notable one, of course, he played in the Gold Cup while he was a member of Cannes. After his relatively successful year with Cannes, he got a move to Montpellier, which were in the top-tier League One at the time. Honestly, I'm not sure if they still are. They might be. But needless to say, that didn't really work out for him. I don't think he got a goal at all in 31 appearances. So he kind of reset his career a bit, headed to the U.S., to play for Orlando City, who for some reason didn't really give him the time of day. I don't know what went wrong there, but he just couldn't really find a field for them. Made like 7 appearances, didn't score. So, the hype was a little down on Nico, and it was kind of like, oh man, it sucks. Normally these people come, I don't know, he didn't start at MLS, so when you say come back, it doesn't really apply to him, but that's kind of a thing you think about is like an American player tries out Europe. If it doesn't work, he can always come back home and then maybe go out again, which is what Nico is looking like he gets to do, which is the fun part. I think this is a good path for U.S. players, is don't be afraid to try it in Europe, man, because that's where our top players play now. That's where top players in the world play. It's just reality. Like Major League Soccer, dislike Major League Soccer, it's not at a point where you can become the best player you can be, if we're being honest, in terms of just the competition you're facing, and even, the coaching too is just not the same. So basically, thought the Orlando didn't work out. He ended up going to St. Louis City for their first year, and it worked out great for him. He ended up with 10 goals in his 37 appearances, which was all good. He wasn't an in-and-out starter with the team, but injuries in that squad, including to their DP striker Klaus, helped give him more playing time, and for the most part, it seems like he made the most of it. He hit double-digit goals for, I think, the first time in his career, and he looked pretty good overall, for being honest. And so playing well, fitting this system, and being a good piece for this team has got the eyes of Europe back on him. And the rumor is he's going to Serie B side Como for $2 million US, with potential to go up to 4 with add-ons. So not a bad little deal there for St. Louis SC. I think it's cool. It's important for St. Louis to show they're one of those teams that is willing to sell you. I think that's a big part of MLS clubs now, is players want to go to a club they can trust that will allow them to make the moves they feel is best for their career. As much as St. Louis fans probably don't like seeing him leave, I think it's best for the player and for the long term of the club. People can as an MLS club, in my opinion, you want to be viewed as a club that's willing to sell on players, because then players who are good enough to eventually be sold to Europe think, oh, okay, I can get a few years in here, show what I'm worth, and then move on, which is good for everyone involved, because St. Louis gets those good years from them, and they get money to keep continuously investing in players. So, it's technically the biggest transfer in St. Louis SC history. Granted, it's small, but overall, it was a solid season for Nico, and he proved he's good enough for Europe again, I think, and that's what's fun. He has an Italian passport, which helps with the move, I believe. Probably, I'd say. Apparently, Como is 3rd in Serie B, and they have ambitions. Obviously, if you're that good, in your league, you probably want to do everything you can to move up. So, sorry guys, I'm just looking at it right now, trying to see exactly where they are. Now they're second. Okay, so they're up to second now, 39 points. Well behind first place Parma at 45, but that's not really, top 2 spots are the automatic promotion spots, so they have to fight off Cremonese and Venezia and Palermo and Cittadella, who are all kind of close behind. Cremonese and Venezia are both 1 point behind. But it's just another American heading to Serie B. It's an interesting league to keep your eye on because you got Busio and Tessman in Venezia. You got Christopher Lund in Palermo. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the other striker to save my life, but he's at Lecco now. And it's like Andrea Nikolovic or something like that. He was with Venezia last year, but got to move to Lecco and has been doing pretty well. But they are not promotion candidates. They're fighting to stay out of relegation. But hopefully, in a perfect world, Como and Venezia or Palermo, 2 of the 3 will get promoted, but we'll see. Either way, we're stacking towards the top of that Serie B, and no matter what, it feels like he's getting his foot in the door in Europe again. Regardless if you think, Serie B is not better than MLS or whatever, it might not be. That could be true, but I do feel like Como, one of the better teams in the league, is probably better than some of these MLS teams. And regardless of how you feel about the league, there is still kind of a factor in Europe that playing in Europe helps you move around in Europe easier also. He's getting his foot in the door again with a good club. I hope this works out for him. It'll be interesting to see how much he gets to play. I'm sure, Como, they're obviously a pretty good team to be second in Serie B. So I don't know who their current strikers are or how much success they are having, Top scorers, we'll see real quick. Patrick Coutron has 9 goals. And after that falls down to 5 and then 4 and 3. But the guy in third place with 4, 3 of those are penalty goals. So they're not exactly high scoring, and the leading scorer is a striker, but he can play left or right too. So either way, I don't know much about the system. I didn't dive that deep, to be honest, yet. But I'm excited about the move. We're finally getting a player in Europe. It seems like most of the transfer window so far this winter has been American players coming back into the U.S. or just going from MLS to Mexico, which is, the fan base is more intense, but the quality of play isn't much better. So it's like, this was refreshing to see, and hopefully there's more of these to come. There's been Simon Becker went to a Danish second division team, so that's something, but I don't. Hopefully you can get him promoted and we can talk about him a bit more. I might make a video on him, I might not. I'm not quite sure yet. But anyways, guys, this was a shorter video. Just want to talk about Nico. What do you think about this move for him in his career? I think this will help him for any sort of chance at a national team picture. For being honest, the striker pool feels set in stone right now, so this is, it'd be tough for him to break through unless he magically starts playing really good on the wing, but he seems like he's more of a striker or a second striker kind of deal, like how he just, we'll see what happens. I'm excited about him still. He's still only 23, which is, it's kind of old for the U.S. team, but for most countries and most teams of the world, that's not old at all. There's still plenty of time for him to make a mark with the team or even the B team. Upgrades anywhere is always good, so stuff like this is always good for the player pool, and I hope this is the trend that can continue. Is if there's an American somewhere struggling to see the field in Europe, or something just isn't going his way, regardless if it's his fault or not, some of these dudes can come back to MLS and play a year or two and go right back to Europe and get to try again. So that's an encouraging sign to see. Let me know what you think about this move for Nico Gioacchini. If you're a Como fan or you're a St. Louis fan, what do you guys feel about either adding the player or losing the player? I don't know if Como fans will watch this, but I like Nico, man. I like him a lot. It'll be interesting to see how it translates, but this was by far the best year of his career. He's coming off the best year of his career, so I guess you're getting him at the right time if that's how you want to view it. And I think the potential is still there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is KMA Preston signing out. See you guys later.